Hey guys, welcome to another Halloween horror review for you guys. Last time on the channel we talked about The Shining in the 1980s, and now we're going all the way to the 1990s to talk about the classic horror film, The Silence of the Lambs. The Silence of the Lambs was directed by Jonathan Demme and stars Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins, and Ted Levine, and is a story that everybody knows about Clarice Starling as she is hunting down Buffalo Bill with the help of Hannibal Lecter, or Hannibal the Cannibal. Guys, The Silence of the Lambs is not only one of the best horror films of all time, but it's also one of the best films ever made. It was nominated for Best Picture, so it's pretty much a big deal and is a very important film for the horror genre. Although, I don't really consider this a horror film. It is very much a crime drama. That's what the movie is. I feel like if you call this a horror film, then you might as well call the movie Seven a horror film as well. I feel like this is a crime drama, and it is one of the best crime dramas ever about a serial killer, besides a movie that is based on true events, Zodiac. This is a fantastic film, guys, and is a film that is practically perfect in every way, starting with the performances. Guys, Jodie Foster in this film is fantastic. This is perhaps her best performance to date. I absolutely love her in this movie, and I think she does an absolutely terrific job playing Clarice Starling, who is a character that I just absolutely love. And as you go throughout the film, you really start caring about her, and I love scenes with her and Anthony Hopkins and how Hannibal is able to really get under her skin. I love the revelation about the screaming lambs, and I love that metaphor and what it brings to the film and her character and how we relate to her. It's absolutely fantastic. She just gives such a good performance that is also cold and calculating, and that is what a lot of the acting is in this film. It is cold and calculating, starting with, of course, Anthony Hopkins, who is the character or actor that really steals the show in this film and just does an excellent job. This is one of the greatest villains of all time. The dialogue is practically perfect, and the delivery is even better. Anthony Hopkins gives probably his best and most iconic performance in this film. He is terrifying, he is cold, he is evil, and he's a real gentleman as well. And I just love everything about this character, and I love his scenes with Clarice, especially their first scene in the entire movie when they finally meet each other. There is just something so perfect about that scene, and there are many videos that you can find on YouTube just talking about how good this scene is and how well staged it is, and it is absolutely perfect. The way Clarice walks down the hallway, and then you can just see that Hannibal is just waiting for her, like he can almost smell her coming down the hallway. It is perfect, the dialogue between them, and also that scene in particular is really scary with like all the other inmates that are in there, and it is perfect. And Anthony Hopkins does a great job as well, and so does Ted Levine. Ted Levine is perfect in this film. He is so good and so entertaining as well, and he just gets lost in this role of Buffalo Bill. Every scene he is in, he steals, and that's something that I love about this film. Is its three main actors really steal the show in every scene they are in, and I love the back and forth between Clarice and Hannibal, and I love the interactions that we get with Ted Levine, Buffalo Bill, and I just think they make this movie just perfect like in terms of acting and performances. It's absolutely perfect. Also, stuff I love with the film is the tension that builds throughout this film. It starts with that scene in the insane asylum with Hannibal and Clarice, and then just continues. And then there's this moment about halfway through, and then the rest of the movie is just a joy to watch. Everything is so tense, and the screenplay is so calculated and makes for an incredible, great finale to this film. I love everything in this film, basically, but once we get to Hannibal Lecter in his new cell with like all that classical music playing, it is perfect from that point on. When Hannibal Lecter, of course, escapes, that plan is perfect, and from that point on, just the film continues to top itself, and still just, it makes you wonder and think and rethink, and it's just, it throws you so many curveballs just near the end that it makes it more and more tense. Like, I love not knowing that Hannibal Lecter has actually taken off a policeman's face and is posing as him. That is a great twist. Spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. Sorry, but this movie is from 1990s. So, you know. But also, I love when Clarice is hunting down Buffalo Bill, and the rest of the FBI believes they know where he is, and it's made to look like they're at the right place, and then they're not. It's perfectly done. It's a great bait and switch, and the finale of this film is both tense and just fantastic filmmaking, and something that I love also about this film, and what really makes it so different and eerie, is the use of people looking straight into the camera. Now, usually when you have a scene where people are talking with each other, it's either over the shoulder or you see a character looking off the screen a little bit, and basically having an eye line between them and the person they're talking to. But this film, everybody is talking like directly to the camera, and it just makes for this eeriness that never goes away. There's just something off about it, and I think it is absolutely perfect and works for this film. It reminds me of movies from the 1930s like Tokyo Story, and how that film deals with close-ups like that and people talking directly into the camera as if they are talking right to you, and it's really good. Guys, this movie is both just intelligently done, it is intense, it is creepy, and it has some of the best performances in this type of film, and just the directing alone is perfect. This is a perfect film. It is what I look at as a perfect film, and I think it's one of the best films ever made. It's definitely one of the best films I have ever seen. I'm gonna give The Silence of the Lambs a 9 out of 10. So, why didn't I give this a 10 out of 10, guys? Well, this film is absolutely perfect. It is a masterpiece. It is one of the greatest films of all time. However, I will say that I love the second half of this film way more than the first half, and I love the first half of this film. But also, when thinking about all the other 10 out of 10s that I have given that some of you don't even know about, it just doesn't stack up with those films, in my opinion. So, it's a 9 out of 10, but it is a perfectly great 9 out of 10 movie. This is almost a 10. In fact, I've watched this movie several times, and every time I watch it, I'm like, it's almost a 10 out of 10. It's almost a 10 out of 10. But maybe in the future, it will eventually be that 10 out of 10. But as for now, it is a 9 out of 10. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. And next week, we will be talking about the 2000s with a horror film that I have actually never seen before. So that makes me even more excited to talk about it. And that is the movie The Descent. So look forward to that. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next review.